And joining us now is Karen Pressley. She was a member of the Church of Scientology for 16 years before leaving for good in 1998.
She says she met Tom Cruise only once and briefly, but understands that what Katie is going through right now. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
What is Katie Holmes going through right now, do you think?
Well, I think Katie is showing that she has still retained her independent thinking, despite the fact that Tom Cruise is all about control. And that's what a senior level Scientologist shows in his behavior. So I think that Katie is not as indoctrinated as she could have become at this point in Scientology. So I think that as an independent thinker, I think that she's choosing to not allow Suri to be raised only as a Scientologist. And I think she's trying to get her life back.
Should she be scared?
I think in a lot of ways, my greatest concern for her would be how Suri would be treated by Tom when she's not with Katie, if Katie is leaving Scientology, because Suri will be treated by Tom as a Scientologist exclusively. So he will be doing things, teaching Suri about Scientology, indoctrinating her further. And if Katie doesn't want that for her life, she should be concerned about that.
It took you 3 tries to get out of Scientology.
It did.
Why was it so difficult?
Well, my husband and I had been together for 21 years. And so each time that I escaped from Scientology, I returned because of that marriage. I wanted to keep that together. But when I chose to leave Scientology, which was my independent thinking, my husband was enforced to disconnect from me. So that is why we ended up getting a divorce, my choice to leave Scientology.
When we hear these things about we should be concerned about Suri being indoctrinated into Scientology, Katie might have to be afraid of it herself. What does that actually mean? What is going on inside of Scientology that is so concerning?
Well, as you raise a child in Scientology, that child only learns a Scientology worldview, which separates people very much from the rest of the world. People outside of Scientology are looked at as if they're uninformed, unenlightened, even inferior. So the Scientology worldview excludes other beliefs, to where a child is raised to think only as a Scientologist, as if that is the only right way to think, which excludes a lot of other general normal behavior. A Scientologist is raised with a very controlling attitude. And as you can see by the way Tom Cruise behaves, like in the media, he gets very erratic, he's very controlling, and when he's not in control, he displays behavior that is almost scary. For me, when I see that on TV, having been a former Scientologist myself for 16 years, I see that behavior and I say, I don't want to be like that. And so he displays behavior that I think is making people say, I don't want to be like a Scientologist.
Karen Pressley, thank you. Really interesting.
Thank you.